Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is time to record our part 2. So in part 1 we ended to pulling this whole big part right here. To do this again, we pull the seat out, cover here under the seat, this cover, these things on the bottom on each side. We also pulled out, snapped out this part right here between your windshield and the light. We pulled out this little part that covers your ignition. And we basically unscrewed a couple screws here up front in each corner, and 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, 4 rivets and 2 rivets on the bottom to pull this whole part. We put stuff to protect our wheel cover. We disconnect from top right here. Once you take it out a little bit, then you'll be easy to disconnect from behind your lights. It's no problem. Okay? Then you take the whole thing out. Just whole thing just comes out. At this point you have your pre-open space right here and 2 main parts that sits back together again. It's your windshield with front and rear meter panel. These little boxes, they screwed to this top panel, so they will come out together. And then front box. So first thing here, you have to take off the windshield. Windshield, you will see it attached right here by 6 bolts. They go into this little plastic tubes. When they screw these tubes come close and expands. That's how it holds your windshield in. So to remove it, one of the easy ways, when you completely unscrew the bolt, you can actually use that very same bolt to push that tube. Okay, in the end of that tube there is like a nut compressed into that tube. You just push it in, and it will come out from the other side. You just catch it on that side. Okay. Good thing about this bike, wherever I fell into it, it never stuck anywhere for some reason. Wherever in the engine, sometimes I dropped something or anything. Everything fell to the floor normally, and you basically push that thing, it will fall into your hand. Now, when you put this windshield back in, what you want to do, you want to put this bolt a little bit in, then you put some lubricant in that rubber thing, and you use screwdriver. You just align that bolt and just press it in a little bit. Okay, then you can screw it. So then when contracts, the rubber tube contracts, it expands and it holds windshield. So to take windshield, 6 rubber tubes right here with little bolts, you take it out. At this point, the only thing that holds this front meter panel and rear meter panel, because they together, is one big little bolt. It's decent bolt right here in front under the windshield, and 2 screws that you will see them. They right above your glove compartment. I have to mention that practically all screws, they all the same here. Okay, all screws completely the same, besides maybe one that holds the battery, and that's about it. All other screws, wherever you pull it from here, from there, they all the same. Only somewhere, I forgot where, one was shorter than some others. But you basically don't have to worry about too much. You mark just those specific ones that there is either like one that holds the battery is thicker and the others are shorter. Other than that, they all the same. So we back here. So we're removing this panel. After we remove windshield, 2 screws right here, 1 bolt right here, and hold. Be careful. You'll need to I believe, disconnect. You have to disconnect your meter, okay? Your odometer, tachometer, your digital whatever assembly or whatever it is have to be disconnected. There is a connector there. You have to carefully stick your hand under here to disconnect it, okay? Then you take this whole thing off. The boxes, these side boxes come out together, okay? Together with this and this panel, okay? Once you take it out, if you need to separate them, they actually attached by your control assembly itself. So there are two, actually four, two for each panel. Screws, those are actually a little different. They are longer than the rest of this. You can easily recognize them. So two screws on each panel, and each box connected by three regular screws, okay, to this panel. Once they come out, you will see how these two panels put together. You can easily separate them, but your control assembly has to come out first if you to separate any of this meter panel. At this point, the only part that remains here in the front of your bike is this front box. That's what it's called officially, front box. To remove front box, you will need to go for one more step. Right here, right on top and above front box, there is your coolant filler, which goes basically to your radiator, and there is an expansion reservoir, okay, just like in a car, basically. They are sitting on top of this little bar. The bar is connected in two places, of course, to your frame. That bar has to come off, okay? So, to remove this front box at this point, after all these parts were removed already, you need to unattach, should I say, detach your coolant expansion reservoir, okay, from that little bar. I was replacing my coolant at the same time, so I drained my antifreeze. My coolant reservoir was empty, so I just took it off. But if you don't want to do that, you can put it here on top of your handlebar and tape it to it or something. It really doesn't have to come off completely, but you will need to disconnect a hose, you know, that overflow hose, which actually it's a little hose that goes all the way down to the bottom there. You'll have to disconnect that, then you can move, okay, the coolant reservoir on top right here. And you'll have to disconnect actual filler hose as well, because it's connected to the same little metal bar. Once you disconnect it, you remove that bar. It's no big deal. Take you probably 20 seconds for whole thing. Okay. Once that is done, you need to disconnect your computer, which sits right on top, and I'll show you. This is the front box when I removed it, okay, my old front box. There will be a cover on this box. On top of this cover, okay, there will be a computer. You need to disconnect it first. The other thing you need to disconnect is your outlet, okay, 12-volt outlet that goes inside of your glove compartment, has to be disconnected as well. We'll continue in a couple seconds.